Alright, so this is a walk around video update of the boat project to show you kind of how it's going. It's not going to be very good. This back is the transom board. I have the clamping board set up, which is mahogany, and as you can see it extends about 10 inches down there. It still needs to be fiberglassed. The inner stringers, or bulkheads if you like, the longitudinal bulkheads are set up and cut. I am fiberglassing, you'll see when I get to the other side, I'm fiberglassing all the internal compartments right now. I've got these boards set up and cut. They need to be installed and properly jointed in, and then these voids here will be filled with buoyancy foam. This is the front compartment, and well, front open compartment. It needs to be fiberglassed, and then this will be the anchor well area. This will mostly be filled with buoyancy foam, but you can see the anchor up there. I'm going to put another piece of that mahogany board on the top to hold it, and then I'll bend a clamping plate to stay on top of it and hold the anchor when you're in motion, or underway, whatever you want to call it. I've got these battens clamped to the side. These will be the rub rail. There'll be 3 of them, and they're just bending right now. And then below that you can see this board, which is the spray rail. It goes from the bow all the way to the stern. It stops just a little short of the stern. The idea behind that is when you're underway, it directs the spray out away from the boat. And down here you can see what 3 thicknesses of these battens will be. This will essentially be the rub rail. It'll be laminated together with fiberglass, with epoxy and a mixture of wood flour. And it'll be laminated in individual sections like this. And then everywhere we have a significant knot hole, you'll have to cut the board, and I'll show you why in a second. And again, this is you can see on the other side I have fiberglass that. That's a layer of fiberglass with epoxy. Got to do the same all over. And on this side, you can see the spray rail at the bottom there. And I had to use wood flour on that one. And I messed up the front just a little bit on my cut. So I'm going to have to build it with thickened wood flour because it's not quite as far out as the other side. That's not too big of a deal. This will have a plate over it and an access hatch, but it'll mostly be filled with buoyancy foam. You notice all the pieces of various things like bugs and all that have fallen into this mixture when it's been open. And I believe that's it. I still have to cut this area here level and then install these cleats all around at that level. And then the decks will go on. The deck looks a bit like this piece here. This is the template, but it's not quite the right shape. It's close, but the outside edge curve is a little different, so I'm going to have to trace that and figure it out, and then cut it out onto marine plywood, transfer it. So after all the fiberglass is laid down, the decks are on, we'll paint it with primer, which is what the gray stuff is on the outside here. Put another coat of marine paint, and the boat will be ready.